So you don't like girls?
Of course I like girls.
Hey YouTubers, welcome to part 2 of my Game of Thrones Season 3 walkthrough. This time we'll be talking about Jon Snow, the characters on the wall, and some of the lesser Stark characters, and my ideas on what the future of the Jon Snow character is in A Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring.
Time to meet the king beyond the wall.
So at the end of Season 2, Jon Snow killed Qhorin Halfhand to earn the trust of the wildlings, and Ygritte was getting ready to take him to meet the king beyond the wall, Mance Rayder.
I'm going to light the biggest fire the North has ever seen!
In Book 3, A Storm of Swords, Jon and Ygritte's journey mostly takes them as they look for the Horn of Winter for Mance Rayder. The horn will supposedly allow them to destroy the wall, according to legend. Although this is unconfirmed, they spend most of the book looking for it.
What's the matter? It can't be the first time you press your bone against a woman's ass.
And while they spend most of the book looking for it, the real story is about their developing relationship.
Well, it's nice. And wet. And warm.
Enough.
That's right, shippers. Get excited. There's a whole lot of Jon and Ygritte.
Oh, it's your doll.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
A special prize will go to anyone that can count the number of times Ygritte says, "You know nothing, Jon Snow," in A Storm of Swords, because they spend most of the book together.
I could teach you how to do it.
I know how to do it.
Without spoiling their relationship too much, let's just say things get a little close and a little awkward and a little bit awesome. The characters that make it back to the Night's Watch, like Samwell, end up learning more and more about the White Walkers. The show has told us that Sam is a big reader. He spends a lot of Season 3 learning more about the lore of the White Walkers and the Other. Although things aren't totally clear, he does learn a little bit about defeating them. Just like Lisa Simpson, no one wants to listen to him. So why is the wall so important to the story of A Song of Ice and Fire? Well, currently we're only in Book 3, but as we move along in the books, without spoiling things, the wall becomes an increasing beachhead for the war between the White Walkers and the Other, who is their mythical god, and the forces of the Red God, or the people of Westeros.
In the ancient books it's written that a warrior will draw a burning sword from the fire.
Looking at it from a theological perspective, you have two supernatural forces, namely the Red God, R'hllor, and the Other. Although neither is officially declared evil or good, essentially the White Walkers and the Other represent the antagonists of the series, with R'hllor by default being the positive god, although this isn't necessarily always true. We get to see some of the supernatural aspects to each of these gods in some of the characters in A Storm of Swords, and we'll definitely see them in Season 3. There are two major followers of the Red God in A Game of Thrones right now. You've already met Melisandre, the Red Priestess, but in Storm of Swords, or Season 3, you'll meet Thoros of Myr. During Season 3, you will get a chance to see Thoros use some of his special powers. During Season 2, you get to see a smoke baby, so obviously they have special powers. And in Season 3, you'll get to see Thoros do something amazing. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but let's just say it is pretty crazy. So what's going on with the rest of the Starks? Robb spends a lot of his time in the Riverlands in Book 3, which you can see in this behind-the-scenes featurette.
We shoot primarily in Northern Ireland, in around Belfast. We're going to go to Iceland.
The Riverlands are actually the ancestral home of his mother, Catelyn Stark, or Catelyn Tully. The Tullys will be a big part of Season 3 and Season 4 of Game of Thrones story. So let's catch up with Arya. She is running a lot. So in Season 2, Arya is a captive of Harrenhal, but eventually she ends up escaping. Where does it take her? Well, she does get stuck on her way to the Riverlands, but ends up running into the Hound. A lot of Arya's arc with the Hound will carry into Season 4 and the second half of A Storm of Swords, particularly the Red Wedding.
That's when everything starts to get a bit scary.
Don't forget the Braavosi coin that she got at the end of Season 2.
Valar Morghulis.
Valar Morghulis.
That will play a big part in her character's journey, especially at the end of Season 3 and Season 4. Bran ends up meeting up with Jojen and Meera Reed, who you can meet in this featurette.
My name's Thomas Brodie Sangster, and I'll be playing the part of Jojen Reed.
I'm Ellie Kendrick, and I'll be playing Meera Reed.
They play a big role in Bran's spiritual awakening and help him on his quest to learn more about the Three-Eyed Crow. The Three-Eyed Crow represents a magical aspect to Game of Thrones that we haven't quite met yet, although they made a lot of visual references to it in seasons 1 and 2. What about Sansa? Poor Sansa. She's still stuck at King's Landing at the end of season 2, although Littlefinger, or Lord Baelish, has been trying to help her or hurt her. It's hard to tell which. He is very slippery.
Look around you. We're all liars here. And every one of us is better than you.
Here's hoping that she doesn't end up in his brothel. Just kidding. I can only imagine what her therapy bill must be like. Ugh. Get this girl a prescription. So let's talk about the potential future of the Jon Snow character. What do you think is going to happen to him in The Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring? So there are 3 big theories on who Jon Snow's mother is, and this is why I think it's important to the rest of the series. Theory 1 is that she was a Dornish princess. Theory 2 is that she was a commoner. And Theory 3 is that he is really a Targaryen.
Is my mother alive? Does she know about me, where I am, where I'm going?
Personally, I think Theory 3 makes the most sense as it applies to the story. What it says is that Jon Snow's real mother is actually Eddard Stark's sister, Lyanna Stark, and his father was Rhaegar Targaryen, who is the older brother of Daenerys.
And you are a Stark. You might not have my name, but you have my blood.
Lyanna Stark was abducted by Rhaegar Targaryen, and although we don't know what happened during that time, it's what started the rebellion against the crown. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Personally, I think that explanation makes the most sense, but it could be anything, so let me know what your theories are. So if you live in Los Angeles, there's a really awesome Star Wars burlesque show that you can get tickets to right now. Links for that in the description below. Even though it's not Game of Thrones related, it's still going to be really, really fucking awesome. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Part 3 will post next week sometime, and we'll deal with Daenerys, dragons, the Unsullied, and the lands of the East. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Valar Morghulis.